friends, welcome to my humble homestead and garden side chat. So today I am going to make a loaf of bread with fermentation starter. I made a couple different kinds of breads earlier, and then I had a request from a co-worker on if I can make a sourdough loaf of bread. Yes, I can, but I don't have any sourdough started. So her son-in-law has, they buy sourdough bread. I don't know if he has a gluten intolerance or what it is, but so I thought she could try to make this fermentation starter bread, which I think it might work on his digestive system. So we thought we'd maybe try it. So I'm going to link below how to make a fermentation starter. It's super easy. This one I made with ginger root. You can see it's, oops, I spilled some, nice and bubbly in there. This one I made with just some organic raisins. You can use virtually any kind of fruit that you have in the house. So if you have berries, apples, anything. I had just had these organic raisins when I made that apple brandy, and I grow ginger. So a ginger bug is a really easy one, and it actually works really well. So basically I keep my fermentation starters in the fridge, and then I pull them out 3 days before, and then I just go ahead and I feed them. So basically to start one, you just need 3 days. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to put about a cup, and I'm going to use a jar because I'm going to make just a small loaf because it's just me. So I'm going to just take out about a cup, and I'm going to use a little from each because the ginger is not sweet and the fruit one is a little sweet. So this will make kind of like a little bit of a, oh my gosh, I'm spilling, you guys, a sweeter one. And then I'm just going to pour these back in here, and I will feed these ones some more. And then I will put them back in the fridge and use them for another time. And yes, you can add some more fruit or ginger or whatever it is you're using. So, but this is a way if you want to make bread too, and you don't have dry yeast, or dry yeast is expensive right now. So this is a way you can get your bread to rise without using yeast. Now, you are going to want to start it in the morning and realize that you're going to bake it the next day. So it's easy to put together, but it does take just a little bit of time to rise. So I have about a cup of the fermentation starter in there. And then we're going to use equal parts of flour. So I am using my hard winter berries here. I just ground it out. I'm going to use equal parts of the wheat berry flour, and I'm going to use a little bit of my organic white flour. And I was thinking I might even put a little bit of the Z powder in there just to see how it works. So I'm going to just put 2 of those in there, and then I'm going to put a little bit of the organic white flour in there. Now this is going to be liquidy, you guys, and that's fine. So I'm going to use just a rubber spatula here and mix it, because we don't want to use metal. You can use, if you know it's stainless steel, you can use that. So this is going to be nice and liquidy here, and I'm just going to mix it up right here, and then I'm going to put a cover on it, and I'm going to let it sit for just a few hours. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to feed it some more flour again. So I will come back and show you how that looks. All right. And then, make sure I have the right lid. The one that hasn't been used yet. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to put that on there. Set that aside. Now, to feed these, you can see it has little bubbles in there. I'm just going to refresh this with some clean water. So I'm going to get some water out of my filter. You don't want to use chlorinated water. So if you do have city water, you can dechlorinate it, or just use some distilled water, or if you have filtered water, that works as well. So I am just going to fill this up with water, and then I'm going to add about, maybe like a teaspoon to a tablespoon of sugar in there, mix it up, and then I'm going to let this sit out on the counter for another couple days, and then I'll put it in the fridge. That's all I'm going to do for this fermentation starter, and then I'll be good to use it again. All right, so I will see you later when we need to feed this bread some more flour. All right, see you soon. All right, time to do our first feeding here. So I am just gonna stir it up in here. Here's how it looks. And I am just gonna add a little bit more of my fresh ground flour in there, and then I'm going to mix that up in there. And then I'm just gonna let that sit a few more hours. Put the lid on there, and there we go. All right, so we're gonna do that in a little more time. See you in a bit. Hey guys, friends, I am going to do another feeding here. Look at how nice and bubbly that is. It's exactly what we want. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of my fresh ground wheat berry. Fresh ground wheat berry. I'm just going to mix that all in. And then we'll do one more feeding, and I will show you how at that point I will take the dough out of the jar and let it rise, and then we'll move on and bake it. So we're getting there. So it's really not a lot of hands-on. It's mostly just letting it rise. So right now that's what we have. All right, we're gonna let it sit a few more hours, and then on to the final step. See you soon. Hi friends, welcome back. Okay, so we are gonna finish up our bread, and look at how bubbly it is. That is exactly what we want for our fermented bread. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed it one more time, and now I'm going to add my salt into it. So I'm just going to add about a half a teaspoon of salt, and then I'm going to add my last feeding of flour into it, and then I am just going to mix it up for the last time here. And then at that point, I'm going to put a little bit of flour into my bowl here. There we go. And then I'm going to pour it into a glass bowl. So we don't really want to use a metal bowl with the fermentation starter or anything fermented. If you know it's 100% stainless steel, then go ahead and use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and take out my bread dough out of here. And now remember, I'm making a smaller loaf because it is just me. So if you want to make a regular size or a bigger loaf, you can go ahead and double this or triple it. So let's see here. Come on out. I should have used a bigger spatula here, or my wood spoon. So, and you can make this in a, if you want to do a bigger one, you can just go ahead and make it in a bowl. I just did it in a jar. I thought it was a little bit easier, and it would have been if I used a bigger spatula here. Actually, let me get a bigger one because I want to get it all out there. There. That worked better. All those little last bits. Okay, so now basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add little bits of flour to it and mix it up until it turns into a dough where I just can't really stir it anymore. And that's it. I don't really measure it. Of course I fly flour around, but I'm just going to mix it in. So this is really a no-knead bread, and I'm just going to keep, oh my gosh, Trina, you're so messy. And I'm just going to keep mixing it in here. And it really just takes a few minutes. And I'm just going to keep adding some more flour in. And it does have a little bit of that soury smell from the ferment. So, you know, it does, you know, you guys are looking kind of for that sourdough feel or whatever. I mean, it definitely, we'll see how it is when it's all done. So I'm just going to keep mixing it up here. Add in a little more here. Still sticky, so I just want it more till it's a little bit of a dough where I can't stir it. I'm not taking too long. And then I just have 2 mini loaves going because my mini loaves are small, and I didn't think this was going to be enough for my bread pan, but I guess I could have done it in my Dutch oven. So, and I have those heating up a little bit because what we're going to do after, and not hot, I don't want them hot, I just have them heating a little bit on a low oven, just because I want them to be able to rise for a while. I want them to be a little bit warm so they can rise. So we're almost, that looks like it's about good there. I might do just a little bit more. There we go, that's much better. There, so it's more dough in a ball where I can't really stir it. Just like that. There. So it's more in a dough. All right, let me get my bread pans. And then the next step is we're going to put them in the bread pans and we're going to let them rise. Now, because this doesn't have yeast in it, it does take a little bit longer than a yeast bread to rise. So instead of like the 30 minutes, it will take a little bit more. So let me get my bread pans and I will stick those in there. We'll cover them and we'll let them rise, and then we'll bake them when they are at that point. So here I have my mini bread pans. They're warm, they're not hot, I can still touch them. I'm just going to divide this into 2 here. And I just oiled them with some coconut oil there. And I'm going to just put half in each. There we go. Now I'll put the other half in here. Which is going to make perfect little loaves here. There we go. And now I'm just going to take a clean towel. And I am just going to cover these, and then we'll just keep them in kind of like a warm area, and I'm going to let them rise, just like that. And then I'll come back and I will show you what we have, and then we'll bake them. All right, see you soon. Hi friends, welcome back. Let's look at our bread after it's been rising. This has been about an hour, maybe, I kind of wasn't honestly timing it, maybe closer to 2, just because I was out in the garden. So I kind of lost track of time. So I gardened and then I took a shower. So maybe between an hour and 2 hours. So I am going to bake this at 375. It's usually between 20 and 30 minutes because mine are small. I'm going to actually do 20 minutes and then check them. So I'm going to put this in at 375, check them at 20 minutes. They're small. They probably will be done, but but if you do a full loaf, it's usually 30 minutes. So I'll show you when they're done. See you soon. Hi friends, welcome back. Okay, here's my 2 little mini loaves of bread. They look and they smell amazing. I'm gonna have a couple little slices with my little brunch here and some yogurt. I took out a little jar of jam. So I'm gonna cut into it to see how it looks. Look at that. Looks amazing. So yeah, this is the fermentation bread. The bread with the fermentation starter. And there we go. So this is, I think it looks great. Turned out good. I ended up cooking this for about 25 minutes. So that's what it took. I think it's because it's denser and I used the wheat berries. So there you have it. There's the bread. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Thanks for giving me great ideas for my channel. Like and subscribe and share. And if you have any more things you'd like to see, you can leave it below. You can send me emails. Yeah, any of those things. I appreciate it so much. Have a great day and goodbye. Be blessed.